Hi guys, and welcome back to one of my videos. Paolo here. Coffee is very important for any of this activity here. And the model I wanted to introduce you now is something very personal for me, because it is one of the cars that I own, and it's my workhorse. So it's the one that made with me probably all my modeling dealer career. You know, I had a shop for 12 years now in Milano. I took Assolutino Modellismo in 1999 and I kept it until 2011. The name is still mine, but there is my colleagues that are going on with different shops, separated shops, and we are no longer colleagues just for expose and so on. You know, I kept my name just for productions of models and the build-up of finished items for collectors. So this was the car that I owned back from, I think it took it in 2005, something like that, you know, and it was anyway still the Golf in production, because I don't think that the Golf 5 was still available, just freshly new, so it was still a very, very fresh car, and I took it very, at a very, very good price. It was a bargain buy for me, because I took it from a girl who wanted to buy deeply a Mini Cooper, but the Mini dealer didn't want to take this car because they didn't need to take used cars at the time. You know, now the reality is completely different, and everybody is stuck off vehicles to sell. That everybody will chat everything in a way to try to sell some cars, you know. And so I took it like a private owning, and I used it for still own this car, and still appreciate it, because it was very nice and absolutely reliable vehicle. It was absolutely a milestone, I think, in the production of Volkswagen. Because it was absolutely a slow car, you know. I think with the comfort settings that they made, an overall setup of comfort around my type of Golf. I think it was really the series that I own was nothing sporty at all, but it was absolutely something that always worked, you know, no problems, and very few electronic, very simple car. When you break some parts, you can buy extremely cheap online or right now, so it was absolutely I loved this vehicle, because she was always with me and never give up, never send me home with the tow tractor, never. So I absolutely love that. Right now, I think the real one, I think I had a picture here. Yeah, let's see, real one. And of course, it's not a special car. It's not a dream vehicle and so on. You know, I think in Italy I own seven cars right now, and the nicest that I own is a BMW convertible that is sleeping in my house. It's too long time, you know. It's basically like a big toy, and this is instead the one that I use daily when I am there. It's really something that I've been fighting with me in Milano traffic for several years, and indeed she shows the sign of the fightings, you know, because she have a lot of scratch in the typical corner for parking and so on. And it's sad, because when you live in a big city, I was not living there, but I was working there, so it was absolutely sad, because you see that very often in the traffic the car gets scratched, the little bumps, little stuff on the carrosserie, never big stuff, but make you feel sad, because, you know, it's typical, unfortunately, in some big cities where people don't care of other people's stuff. So I find every time a new sign on the body, carrosserie was going a little flatting, there was some bonks all over the car from other doors and so on, so a lot of scratches. The main modification that I made to this model was that I took the model that Tamiya did of the 4-door Golf VR4. Now it became quite a rare item, very rare item, you know. It's very hard to find also in eBay and so on, and it was quite a decent model, really well done for the standard of Tamiya, so extremely precise, and the shape was basically taken, I think. And the biggest issue was that Tamiya provided a 4-door version. Instead I own a 2-door version, so I had to cut in the proper way the pillar and modify them in the correct shape, so recreate the new rear part, and all these sides have been modified, as well as the line of the door became completely different, because the 2-door have the front doors that are quite longer than the 4-door car, despite the interior is very similar, you know, the proportion is the same, so I just modified minorly the interior part. What it was cool in this moment is that, in this model, sorry, it was that if you look closely inside, I also placed, which was my typical condition of traveling, with a lot of boxes of models around. You see on the seat, and magazine modelings, model magazine on the back, and all the boxes that I used there. This was a kind of setup that I made during a modeling exposition, you know, when you have to move inside the expo. Of course, I don't use this car, not in this condition, of course, in the traffic, you know, but when you have to move from a stand to another and the expo place is quite big, I usually take it up some woods and some boxes with ropes around, and they try to move from a part to another of the expo in those conditions, of course, in a closed area, you know, and all the tracks over the roof it's possible to take it away, so I can also see the line of the Golf completely pure without this stuff over, you know. It was a little kind of diorama that I wanted to build up, because it's really take me back to that years and take me back to that adventures, you know. The model, so it was absolutely pretty to build up. Another modification I forgot to mention was to change the wheels, because in Tamiya box you basically find the wheels of the VR4 car, that is a spocket alloy wheel from Volkswagen. Instead, my car had the ordinary standard steel wheel with the plastic covers over, so I found something very, very similar coming from the Tamiya, the Fujimi Mercedes DTM car. So the wheels in their intention was smaller because it was a 16, that is correct for this car because I have 16 on this car, and they fit nearly perfectly in the wheel arch, so you see that the proportion of the real Golf is nearly perfect compared to the real car, you know. In the picture it looks a little brighter because I had the sun shining over that. It was full clean, it was in a car wash place, you know, and it was still a little less scratched. Even if looking closer you see that also in the picture there is some scratch that you absolutely can notice, you know. And it's sad to see a vehicle that had been little by little destroyed by the low level of civilization of other people, you know. But that's it for ordinary cars in the cities, no problem, and no problems at all. And I just want her to work properly, like she always did. Now we reached with her, I think it is around 200,000 kilometers, so it's really a lot. Road plate, it was custom made, of course. I just kept the Golf tag from the photo etch set that was provided inside the Tamiya box, and I had just added some safety belts inside, and that's it, you know. So the model, in my opinion, is absolutely taking what is the spirit of my little Golf during my adventure. That's it, something funny, guys, and thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.